tutorial. I'm just going to name that on my desktop and click save. Then it's going to build my session, and here's the default session inside of Pro Tools. Right here you've got your click track that always loads automatically. Up here you have your tempo. If you double click on this little red triangle here, you will get your little tempo change dialog box here. Let's change that to, say, 160. And you can change your resolution here. I always just leave it at default. And then another cool thing that you can do with this tempo change is tap tempo. So once you have this little tempo change dialog box here, you could just tap the T key on the keyboard to get whatever tempo you're playing. Like if you're playing a guitar riff and you just tap the T button along with it, you can get your most accurate tempo. This is commonly found on delay pedals and things like that. It's called tap tempo. You just keep pressing T, and as you can see, it changes. So that's cool. Up here you have all your tools. This is your different zoom levels right here. 1 is the biggest zoom. It's the most zoomed out, and 2 is the next zoomed out. 3 getting more closer to the different. Now you're getting really small and precise, and then 5 is even more precise. So this is your MIDI note height. I'll show you this audio height in just a minute. Here's your different modes. I'll get into these in another tutorial. Here's your smart tool. This is what, as you can see down here in the track view, or this track lane here, you have your little selector here, and this smart tool is a selector. And then yeah, it's not going to let me do it here, but I'll show you the smart tool in action here in just a minute. Here's your zoom tool, and there's something cool about the zoom tool. You just click and drag where you want to zoom in, and then it automatically zooms to that area, so that's really cool. And you can hit your zoom out button. Then you can also use command bracket, the brackets on your keyboard, command in the brackets to get smaller and larger. So that's a cool little keyboard shortcut that I use all the time. Let's see, here's the pencil tool. I don't use this tool very often. You can use it for drawing automation and things like that. Alright, I'm just going to show you how to import some audio. Actually, hold on just one second. This is the default thing in Pro Tools. This is how it comes default. Actually, it might come with these tracks and the regions open. I don't remember, but anyway, right here you can get your input and output things where you can change them. See right here, I can change the input on my interface to whatever input I want. I have 8 inputs. Right now I'm using input 5, and if I change that and I arm the track, which I can't because this is a MIDI track, a click track. And then here you can change the outputs. So and then I also use, there's one more thing that I usually add here, and it's the inserts A through E. So that's going to give you the first 5 inserts on your track. I use that to add quick effects. I find that easy. You can do whatever you want. You have all this other stuff, and if you click all, it'll add everything in there. And then you can click minimal, and it goes back to the default. I'm going to go to I/O and inserts. Alright, now over here you have your tracks. So when you create new tracks, so let's go create a new audio track. Let's go ahead and make 4 mono tracks in samples. I usually use ticks for like virtual instruments like drum software, and I use samples for real audio. And then hit the little plus button. I'm going to create a master fader track, and I'm going to make that a stereo track and samples. And let's go ahead and create those, and the Pro Tools automatically creates them, as you can see, and they're all different colors to keep it nice and organized. As you can see, it added them all to the tracks menu here, or this tracks panel over here. And yeah, I find this easy for navigating what tracks that I'm looking for when you have a bunch of tracks going on. Here's a regions list. Any kind of audio you record is going to come up in this regions list. And we'll get into more detail with this stuff later. And here are these little arrows down here at the bottom. You can close those. Alright, to give you more screen real estate. Now, I'm going to go ahead and undo, or actually no, give me that tracks menu back. I'm going to delete those audio tracks because I don't need them. I'm not going to be using them for this video. I'm going to go ahead and import some kind of audio here. Let's see if I can find an audio track to import. Let's go to let's go here. Let's add the, doesn't matter, let's just add that. Here's how you import files. You go whatever file you're looking for, you find it in your hard drive, you click it, and it comes down here in regions, current file, you click convert, and it's going to convert that from the sample rate of the actual file to the sample rate that your project's in, and click done, and it'll pop up where you want your file that you're converting to save. I always just leave it at the default audio files here because it's usually always right, so just click choose, and now it's going to convert the audio. It's going to ask you if you want to create a new track or just add it to the regions. You can do whatever you want. I'm just going to add new track, and then you can choose it as selection or spot in the location where it's going to start at. I'm just going to choose session start. I'm going to click OK, and as you can see, now we have that kick drum file. The tempo's not right, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just adding this for to demonstrate a tool here. Here's your smart tool, as you can see. Here's your grabber thing where you can move the track around to the grid. Later on I'll show you how you can move it not with the grid. And then here's, you can select your audio to edit. And then here you have your trimmer tool where you can actually trim the audio. So that's your smart tool in action. The smart tool is very handy. I really like this tool a lot. With this little button right here, it's the tab to transients button. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to this track. I'm going to hit the tab key with that button enabled, and every time you hit tab, it's going to go to the next tab or the next transient. This is good for quantizing drums, quantizing bass, things like that, and works quite well. Let's see, this other button right here, this is your link, timeline, and edit selection button. So with this enabled, it's going to link the timeline edit selection here to the one on the top up here, and you can do some cool stuff with this, like punching in and out with recording. I'll show you that later in another video. And then this button right here, or actually I'll show you what it does if you don't have that link edit and selection thing enabled. As you can see, it adds a selection here, and it doesn't link the timeline selection to it. So let's go ahead and click this button right here. This button is a insertion follows playback button. With this button enabled, as you can see, the playhead's moving, and when you click spacebar again, the timeline moves to the place where you stopped it. Without that button enabled, let's just play that, or actually bring that back here, and then play that. Hit spacebar, it goes back to the starting point. That's really useful for editing. This insertion follows playback is useful for playing audio and things like that. So that's pretty much the tools that I mainly use. There's other tools in here that I'll get to in more future videos, but I guess I should also say there's a couple main windows here. The main window we're looking at right now is called the edit window, and then if you hit command equal or control equal on PC,